today I'm gonna film my April/Owls wrap up. I participated in the Owls Magical Readathon in April, and it's a readathon created by Book Roast, and it's centered around Harry Potter. And I chose the career Hogwarts professor teaching Defense Against the Dark Arts, because you can choose a career to pursue. And then there's a lot of prompts. There are 12 prompts in total, but I only needed 7. And the ones I read are Defense Against the Dark Arts, Grindylows, books set at the sea or coast. And for that I read White Nights by Anne Cleves, which is a crime novel, adult crime novel, set on the island Shetland, and I gave it 4 stars. It's the second book in the book series called Shetland, and it has a TV show that's really great. So yeah, it's about Jimmy Paris, who's a police officer, and he solves a new crime in every book. Usually a murder. So yeah, then I had to complete the Charms prompt, which was Lumos Maxima, a white cover. And for that I read Och eken står där än by Sofia Lundberg, which is a Swedish book that I actually gifted my grandfather for Christmas, and then he wanted me to read it and tell him if it was good or not, because he apparently doesn't have anything to compare to, because he's not a reader. But this is an adult contemporary book about a woman who just divorced her husband, and they had a son together, and she misses him very much when he's at his father's house, and she goes out to this bench by a tree, and an old lady is there, and they start talking, and they become really good friends, and it's about them like helping each other, I guess. And I gave that a 3 star. It was I don't know. It was quite moving. The friendship between Ruth and Esther, but it wasn't anything special to me. I didn't cry at the sad parts. I didn't feel that connected to the characters, and not a lot happens in it. Like, the plot wasn't that interesting, but I still enjoyed it. It was a good book, just not a great book. And yeah, you can see it's a white cover, and underneath the dust jacket it's white. So yeah, that was Charms. Then we had Potions, and by the way, these are all classes they take at Hogwarts. So yeah, Potions were Shrinking Solution, a book under 150 pages. So for that I read a comic, Giant Days Volume 7 by John Allison, Freeman and Cougar. And I gave that a 3 star. It's a new adult contemporary comic, and it's very short. And this comic series is about 3 girls who start college, and they are roommates, and it's about their lives, their relationship with people, and their side jobs and stuff like that. One of the girls is gay, which that's cute. But yeah, I find them very easy to read and very enjoyable, but they're kind of forgettable, and not a lot happens in them, but I still enjoy them. So 3 stars. And then we have Care of Magical Creatures. Hippogriffs, creature with a beak on the cover. And for that I read Throne of Jade by Naomi Novik, which is an adult urban historical fantasy, and it's the second book in the Temeraire series, and the first book is called His Majesty's Dragon. And I gave that a 3 stars as well. I gave out a lot of 3 stars this month. About a sea captain, and he finds a dragon on this ship that he conquers. That's French. And the dragon, like, what's it called? Like, imprints on him, so they become companions, even though he doesn't know anything about dragons. And then it's about them fighting in the war, because this is set in the 1700s, I believe, during Napoleon's reign. So they're fighting the French a lot. And in this second book, they go to China, because the Temeraire, the dragon, is actually a like sky dragon or heaven's dragon, or what it's called, from China, that they gifted to Napoleon. But then the Englishmen got it, and they want the dragon back. So they go and visit there, China. And well, I gave the first one in the series 4 stars, and this one 3 stars, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna continue or not, because I believe it's like a 9-book series or something, and they're quite long, like 400 pages. So I don't think I'm gonna continue, but it was still enjoyable and interesting with the dragons and stuff, and the Chinese culture as well. And then I had to complete Transfiguration, an Amagus lecture, a book/series that includes shapeshifting. For that, I chose to read The Subtle Knife by Philip Pullman, which is the second book in the Historic Material series, and the first book is Golden Compass, and it's a middle grade fantasy series where every human has a animal as their an embodiment of their soul, and when you're a child, your animal, or they call it demon, it changes shape a lot. So it includes shapeshifting, and it's about Lyra, and she wants to find out more about dark matter, and there's a war coming and stuff. And there's multiple worlds and witches and magic, and yeah. Then we have Herbology, Mimbalus Mimbletonia, a title that starts with M. And for that I read A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, which is a middle grade contemporary with monsters. So I'm not sure it's contemporary with monsters, but it's not strictly contemporary because there's monsters. But yeah, I give that 4 stars. I cried. And it's this sweet boy who, his mother has cancer, and he summons a monster, which is a very kind monster, without realizing it, and he gets help from the monster, and yeah. It's a very sweet story. Then the last and 7th book I read in April was for astronomy night classes. Read the majority of this book when it's dark outside. And for that, I read I Was Born for This by Alice Oseman. And I read this with Tiffany over on Bookish Tiffany. And I gave it 4 stars. I really like Alice Oseman. It's a YA contemporary about a girl who is like the biggest fan of a boy band, and then she meets her idol and it isn't quite as she thought. And she went to somewhere to see them live with her online friend, and a lot of shit goes down, but I'm not like a fan of boy bands, so I couldn't relate to that aspect. So that's why I give it 4 and not 5 stars, like I have given Radio Silence and Heartstopper. So yeah, that was the book that I read in April for the owls. Thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe if you want to, and comment down below what you read in April, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Abrázame toda la noche, no nos queda mucho tiempo más. No quiero perder lo que queda. Seguimos siempre la pasión y confiamos solo en el amor. Yeah. No quiero perder lo que queda.